something wasn't right. Like, something wasn't right about his face. You're getting locked up, they won't let you in. Homeboy was confused. He was Confucian, and I was also Confucian. I was so salty. I look at her and I say, hey, nice to see you there. Oh, a little schmessy. Okay, let me get myself together. Okay. Today, I'm going to share with you a little dating in Korea story time, which you guys all want to hear. But I don't even think you can call this one a date because it was just so out of pocket. But we're going to jump right into it. Let's get started. So you guys know a lot of people talk about Tinder, but Tinder has this very little cousin, very little cousin called Badoo, and I decided to join Badoo. This was like my very first time dating ever. I never had the chance of dating back home, and then when I got to KU, I felt a little free. So I think what makes Badoo a little different from like Tinder is that you can also meet friends on Badoo. So like you can meet friends and also, dating interests, whatever float your boat, whatever float your go, okay? I ended up meeting this guy. That's where I went wrong, first of all. But yeah, I met this guy. And then one time he mentioned he saw me in school, and I was like, excuse me? You saw me? But I never saw you. But like, I think I get it. Like I'm a foreigner. I stand out. Like, you're going to see me, especially like I'm one of only 2 or 3 black people on the whole entire campus. Like, I stand out. So yeah, like home buddy was like, yeah, I've seen you on campus and I wanted to get to know you, but I was a little too scared to approach you. And I'm like, first, that already alarmed me. Like, you see me, but I don't see you. But like, I thought it was expected. Like, we go to the same school. It makes sense. And like, he was very close to me, like in proximity. So I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm going to let that slide. So he's like,
yeah, like I want to see you. And
I'm like, oh, okay, maybe. Like, he was super tall. Like, he was like about 6 feet and he looked good. Even though I have to say, like, I don't even know why. Like, everyone is tall to me. Like, 6 feet doesn't even really matter. I'm like 5'1". So everyone is taller than me, but like Buddy Boy was a giant. Like, I thought that was interesting. Like, I never talked to someone like that tall, obviously. And one day he ended up inviting me out to go have drinks with him. And mind you, it was like a school night. And like, I had also never drunk before. So he mentioned that he was going to bring along his friend. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring a friend too, because that's just what we do, And also because I never drunk before, I thought it made more sense to have someone with me that I trust. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring my girl along. So comment down below if you guys would prefer meeting someone that you've been chatting with online alone, or do you guys prefer having friends with you? Mind you, I personally think that like it's best to have someone with you, even if that person thinks you're coming along. Like, it's good to like call up your friend and be like, oh, I need you to come and like be in the back. I've done that too, like come and like be in the back while I'm on the stage, see how it's going, Yeah, so back to the story. So we decide to meet up at the library, like at a building next to the library in our school. I tell my friend, we need to give her a name, you guys. We need to give her a name. Let's see, what do I see around my room? We're gonna call her Umbrella. So Umbrella, I tell Umbrella, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go meet up with these dudes, we're gonna drink. And Umbrella is like super hyped. She's like, yeah, let's go. And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. So we get there and I was like filled with so much eagerness, like to get to know this like super dreamy guy. I don't know, I was jumping the gun, you guys. I was like, oh, like maybe I can start something with this dude, like I don't know, maybe. So yeah, me and Umbrella, we're walking to like the building next to the library to go meet up with them, and I can see him in the distance and I'm like, oh my God, he really is as tall as like he said he is. I guess. And like the more we're walking, right, the more I'm getting excited. But like the more I see his face, something wasn't right. Like something wasn't right about his face. I'm not saying like he didn't look like his picture. What I'm saying is his expression seemed a little off. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, am I ugly? Like, is your girl a troll? Like, it's possible. Like, I'm still that chick, okay? Yeah, like his whole expression is off. And then like I turned to look at my friend, I turned to look at Umbrella, like to get her reaction too, and her expression is also off. So I'm thinking like, well, is she okay? Like, do we need to go back to the dormitory? Because I'm not on. So like we finally, like we get up to like the guy I was talking to and his friend. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Nice to meet you. And he's like, and then he turns to my friend like this and he's like,
Oh, nice to see you.
and my friend is like,
Nice to see you too.
and that's when I discovered that the guy and Umbrella knew each other. Oh my God, they knew each other. They ended up knowing each other. And like previously, before this outing, Umbrella had told me about this date she had with this guy at the bar, right? And how like good it was, right? And I was like, oh, like when they meet, and I asked like, oh, how do you guys know each other?
Like, oh yeah, at the bar.
And I'm like, so this is the guy she went on a date with at the bar? So like I shut down completely. And I'm thinking like, did this really just happen in my face in 4K? Yeah, so they're chatting it up. This guy does not say a word to me afterwards. The only thing after that was
Like, okay, let's go to the bar.
and so we start following him down the street. He's just chatting it up with Umbrella. And like, I'm left alone with a friend. So like, he didn't speak to me. The guy that I was supposed to be on the date with, he didn't speak to me not once. Like, he totally dumped me for his friend, which made me feel like Juju, okay? It made me feel like caca. Imagine you guys getting invited to go out with a guy and him not talking to you once. Instead, he just, pushes you to the side for your friend. Yeah, it's not a good feeling, okay? And like, I just felt like a piece of discarded paper, and like, I was ready to go back home at this point. Me considering how his friend might have felt and seeing that like we were both kind of being quiet and I didn't want it to like feel awkward, I just decided to, try and talk with his friend, strike up a conversation, but it was like trying to talk to a brick wall. Like, the conversation was super dry, like my skin in the winter. And to make matters worse, like, his English wasn't really that good. It's not that he couldn't speak perfect English, like that's not like, but like even with body language, it just wasn't getting through. The guy who invited me, of course he speaks like English, like he lived abroad. So I'm thinking, if you're bringing another guy for my friend, like of course he should have been like, at least speak a little English, like if it was for my friend. There was no telling if my friend was Korean or not. But anywho, so I'm like, okay, like I tried to muster up whatever Korean I knew. Like I was over here like, yeah, they, game, Joahe, okay? I was like, GTA, But like, homeboy was confused. He was Confucian, and I was also Confucian. At this point, I just decided to give up. And during this time, like we did get to the bar, and I decided to do this little trick. So let's say we're at the little bar table, okay? And, my friend, Umbrella, Umbrella sits right here. So I sit next to Umbrella because I'm thinking, okay, he has two choices right now. He's either going to sit next to Umbrella or he's going to sit next to me. You got to decide. So like, Like the idiot I am. I thought he was gonna sit next to me so we could talk a little more, because you know, that's what we came here for. But no, he decided to sit next to Umbrella. And then his friend sat next to me. Seeing as there was nothing much for me to say or do to this friend, or say and do with Umbrella, I was just like there, like mute. I just decided to leave. Also, it was getting really late and our dorms have a curfew at midnight. Don't make it to midnight, you're getting locked up. They won't let you in. I really wanted to get home, especially since it was like 11 p.m. at that time. It was like a 20-30 minute walk back to the dorm from the bar that we were at. And I look at Umbrella and I told her like, hey, you know, we should get going. About to get locked out, you know, we should get going back to the dormitory. And I'm thinking like, the guys, they have to go back too. Like if you guys live in the dormitory, like it's time for us to go back. Trying to be the good friend, I was trying to, you know, persuade her to come with me, and trying to remind her like, yeah, hey, it's late, we gotta go, you know, we gotta skedaddle. But like she looks at me and she's like, yeah, you know, I'm having so much fun, like I don't want to leave right now. And like at this point, I am like so salty. I'm gonna admit it, I was so salty. I look at her and I say, yeah, you're having too much fun. I'm just gonna leave. Curfew is coming. I'm not about to be locked out of my only place of residence for this mess, okay? I'm not gonna be locked out of my place of residence. Yeah, I ended up leaving her there. At that point, she wasn't drunk. She was completely aware of her actions. And at the time, I think she only had like one drink. She was not gonna listen to me, and I don't have time for that. I did check up on her like a few times during the night and also in the morning just to make sure she was okay. You know, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm not her parent. Like I was still, you know, worried. I was still worried for her. So like I did check up on her, and I actually end up discovering that she ended up sleeping over at the guys' house. None of my business though, do what you want. As soon as I got back to my dormitory, I did not hesitate to block him. I clearly steered clear from him like the plague. So I'm curious, like, have you guys ever gone through any weird or annoying experiences on any dating apps, or has it been all nice and rosy for you guys? Like, it has been, like, I envy you. And like, yeah, I want to read about like everyone's experiences. Like I love reading about everyone else's experiences. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, see you later.